Now that version 12 is now released on the Oculus Quest, there's a few new features and some new tips and tricks that I feel I need to share with everyone. So after spending quite a bit of time with version 12, here are some more tips and tricks about this evolving Oculus Quest, which involves the new hand tracking feature and more. So first thing I want to talk about is a tip on how to make your unit receive that new version 12 update. The method that I used and worked really well for me is the same exact method that I used for version 11, because the way Oculus likes to update their devices, for some reason they do it individually. It's not like a cell phone where you could actually go into the settings and click on the check for update tabs. For some reason Oculus doesn't like doing this. One of the reasons could be maybe they don't want their servers to crash. So if you're still waiting to get this update, try this out. At night, just leave your headset on, make sure it's at a full charge at 100%. You don't have to have it plugged in against the wall. The past 2 times I've done this, I left it unplugged. As long as it's turned on, you can just set the headset down and it's gonna automatically go into sleep mode. When I did this, the next morning, my unit was already on version 12. And all my other applications automatically got updated. And once you notice that your device is on the latest firmware, just reset the headset and all the new features should work. That's the method that worked for me and was very successful. So definitely do go ahead and give that a try. If not, there is a way you could force your Oculus Quest to receive these new updates, as there's this article on Reddit, a full guide tutorial that allows your Quest to receive that update. Just however, you do have to tinker with the Quest, and it's not really recommended because based off everything I found out, there's a high chance you could mess something up. So unless you're fully familiar with ADB, I believe it is, I don't really recommend doing that. But that's the number 1 tip. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, since there's no real guide on how to enable the hand tracking feature as soon as you receive that update, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the quick rundown. All you gotta do, once you have the version 12 installed, go into your settings, select See All, go to experimental features, and right here is where you see enable hand tracking. Enable this. If this is your first time enabling this, a little video tutorial will play. Quickly watch that, learn the basics, but that's basically it. But now if you want to switch back to the controller, all you really got to do is lift off one of the controllers, press any button, and it'll automatically swap from hand tracking back to the controllers. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut to go back to hand tracking. It'll be nice if they innovate like a feature where you clap twice to get the Oculus Quest attention and it'll automatically switch back to hand tracking. But instead, what you have to do is just go into your settings and tap right here, use hands, and that's it. Now for number 3, the third tip. As of time making this video, there is no hand tracking game released just yet. But if you want to get some hands-on experience with some games that you could play right now, you could just go onto your web browser on the Oculus Quest and play some browser game mobile games like Flappy Birds or Cut the Rope. Any popular mobile game, is very likely there's a website to play some of those games on the big screen in the Oculus Quest. Then other cool games that are free and also work really well are actual VR games, because on the web browser app, if we close our tabs, right here we have a game section. If you tap on this, these are full VR games that you can play. One of which is kind of like Beat Saber. When you click on this and you click on the little VR, it'll actually enable VR mode. And unlike Beat Saber, there's a lot of songs you can choose from without needing to upload and mod your headset. There's 3 different modes to choose from. They're all really fun. You can either punch your way with the beat. There's also a slide mode and the classics, slice and dicing with a sword. It's really cool and works really well. It's fully immersive. Just unlike Beat Saber, it's very limited on its visual effects. But definitely do give this a try if you don't yet own Beat Saber. Now for number 4, when it comes to purchasing games on the Oculus app, switch to the Rift or the Oculus Go section to see if the game you're trying to buy is on sale on that platform. Because in the past, I have caught some deals stuff on the Rift gaming library. As long as you double check and make sure that the game is also compatible on the Quest, you can purchase it on the Rift side on sale and re-download it on your Oculus Quest. It's a great way to save money, and now since the Oculus Link is also compatible with the Oculus Quest to play Rift games, definitely do check the Rift library before buying something for the Oculus Quest and save some money. Now for number 5 is a question I've been getting a lot on some of my past videos. How I'm able to export the video and screenshots that I take on my Oculus Quest to my PC. I think I've been getting asked this a lot because most users, I believe, they're using Macs, and on a Mac computer there's a few more additional steps you gotta take. But whatever the case is, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a quick rundown how you're able to do this on both Windows and Mac. So first thing you gotta do, in case you have developer mode enabled, quickly go into the Oculus app and disable that. So on a Windows computer, using the appropriate cable, connect your VR headset to your PC, then power on the headset. It's gonna ask you if you want to give it permission to connect to your PC. Simply just allow it, and then inside the file application under My Computers, you should see the Quest right there. Simply click on it, go inside its internal storage. If you want to find your screenshots, simply just go into the DCMI folder, and here just look for screenshots, and there's all your images. Now for video recording, it's different. You got to go into the Quest folder for some reason, and then just click on video shots, and here they all are. Now an MP4 video player is required for you to view these clips, so make sure you have one. If not, just Google it and download one. Now on a Mac, you do have to download the Android file transfer app. Just install it. I'll leave a link to it in the video description down below. It's free and it's by Android. But after you have that installed on your Mac computer, simply just plug in the Quest, again with the appropriate cable, go inside the VR headset, allow it, give it permission to connect to your PC, and then the Android file transfer app should automatically pop up. If not, you can manually just launch it. In here, same thing, under the DCIM folder, just look for screenshots. And then for the video screen recording, go into Oculus and look for video shots. And here are all your screen recording. Now my storage is almost full, as I have a lot of screen recording I gotta delete. But that is it. But those are the majority of useful tips and tricks for the Oculus Quest. These next few are just some interesting ones that I also feel everybody should at least be aware of. Like now, since the Oculus link is available, I'm sure many users would like to also know that you can increase the resolution of the Oculus link connected to the Oculus Quest. There's another guide article on Reddit showing you that tutorial on how to do so. And this one is less risky compared to the other one, as everything that you change here is easy to reverse in case you mess something up. And then for this next tip, I will highly recommend to go ahead and pick up one of these straps. Now that hand tracking is now available, and in the near future there's going to be a lot of games supporting this, these third-party knuckle straps are going to be a must-have in my opinion, because not only do they easily can go on your hand and they stay on very securely, they're very easy to take off, unlike the original straps. This way, whenever you enable the hand tracking, you can simply just take them off without dealing with the lanyard that's around your wrist. And then one thing I noticed with these straps is when playing common games like Beat Saber, a common issue I will encounter is the battery cover will easily slide off. Ever since I got this accessory, this prevents that from happening. So if you encounter this issue, this is a great way to resolve this. I'll leave a link to this product in the video description down below. And for number 8, it's a really interesting tip to know. Whenever you have hand tracking enabled, if you step outside the Guardian, you actually get to see your hand. But not only that, you see how the Oculus Quest visualizes it. So some people that I talked to said their hand looks extremely small. Others will say their hand looks extremely large, because sometimes the Oculus enhances your hands, I guess. So the Oculus Quest can read and keep track of your hands better. But this is a really cool trick to know, because this will actually allow you to get a better understanding and see how the Oculus Quest tracks your hand in real time. You can visually see it tracking and get a better feel how to quickly get to these menus. So for number 9 is get a tape measure and literally put it in the backside of your Oculus Quest. As ridiculous this may sound, this actually works. This works really well because, you know, the Oculus Quest, how it's like top heavy, front heavy I should say. When you put the tape measure on the back, it actually does balance it out. This is really popular on Reddit forums from what I've been seeing, and after testing it out, it really does balance everything. But in my personal opinion, I think you're better off just changing the front fascia with a third-party one, because this one in particular, the one I'm personally using, this one is a PU foam-like material, and memory foam material I should say, and it works really well because they balance, it like evens out the pressure point, so I don't have to do this with the tape measure on the back. Even you can also substitute this with a portable power bank, I would imagine. But again, if this really does irritate you, you're better off switching the front fascia bracket with a third-party one. The silicone ones or the PU leather ones are my personal favorite, because don't be this guy. Don't put your Oculus Quest in the fan if you sweat a lot and let it dry. With the other materials, you can simply just wipe off any liquid, so you don't have to wait for it to dry up and stuff like that. It's just more convenient. I'll put links to this one as well in the video description down below. And lastly, pick up one of these length cleaners. These things are actually really cool. They serve multiple purposes. as they not only do an excellent job on cleaning camera lens, but they work perfect for VR headsets. There are some specifically designed for VR headsets, but from what I've seen, they are the exact same thing like the camera lens cleaner. They just cost a little bit more because they have in their title VR. But I did cover this lens cleaning pen on my previous video, my accessory guide for the Oculus Quest. But I can't recommend this thing enough because this thing is really a must-have, especially if you own any VR headset. It does an excellent job when it comes to cleaning up the edges of the lens. But all in all, those were the quick rundown of 10 tips and tricks for the Oculus Quest that I feel every owner should at least know. If you missed my previous Oculus Quest tips and tricks video, you go ahead and click on it right here. I still use some of those tips and tricks day to day with my Oculus Quest, and they work really well. And then this video over here, that is a video of all the must-have accessories for the Oculus Quest to really enhance your overall experience. So I really recommend checking out that video if you haven't yet. But anyway folks, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.